Okay, folks, what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to show you how to use something called the Cloud Library. So I'm starting from the Cedar Rapids Public Library website, and I go to Library at Home, and then I go down to eBooks and Audiobooks, and I click on Cloud Library. It asks you a little bit more information so that they can kind of round down what library you're coming from. So I put in the country, the state, and what public library I'm using. Next thing I'm going to do is I am going to log in. Now remember, for you, your number that you are going to log in with is 1 with 3 zeros behind it, 301, and then your 6-digit student ID number. So if you look at the sticker that's on your computer with your email on it, that will give you your particular student ID number. And then the last 4 numbers of your student ID number are going to be your PIN number. Okay, and then I hit login and accept. So it will ask you if you want it to remember the ID number and all of that. I recommend doing that. I also recommend coming up here and clicking the little star up here in order to bookmark the Cloud Library. Then that way you don't have to go back through the Cedar Rapids Public Library again. You'll just be able to click on it and come right to it. All right, now looking at this, I'm looking at it and going, ugh, it's a bunch of adult books. So I go over here to browse. Browse means to look. And what I can do is I can go through and decide what might work better for me. So in particular, you might select kids fiction to get some kids books that are fun stories to read. Or maybe I'm working on a project or I'm interested in finding more out about something. I can click kids nonfiction. Now, let's say I find a category that I really, really enjoy. So maybe I enjoy reading biographies and autobiographies. I can click that little star there so that whenever I go to this, then they'll pop up automatically and I don't have to go through extra spaces in order to get to that. So kids nonfiction is where I'm at. And any of these books with the little headphones, those are going to be audiobooks. So you can scroll through and just find an audiobook maybe that might interest you. Let's say I'm doing a research project. Maybe I'm doing a research project on Rosa Parks. So then I can go here and find a book. And let's say I want to borrow this book. I click borrow. And if it's an audiobook, it'll allow me to listen to it. If it's a reading book, it'll allow me to start reading it. So that's one way I could do that. I could also look for, here's an example of a actual book to read. And I can open this up. It's getting the table of contents. It takes a little bit for it to go through. And then what it will do is it will give me the book. And let's say I don't get done with it, then up over here, what you will find is a little bookmark thing that you can click on in order to bookmark where you are in your book. So let's say I started there. So I can click in order to turn the pages of the book. I can hit the bookmark thing here. Now, in order to get back to Cloud Library, and the back button will take me here. So let's say I get done and I leave and I come back. Well, how do I get back to my books? Well, I can go over here to where it says My Books, click on that. It'll bring me to this page that has all of them. And then I can click on it and go right back to where I was reading before. Another option for you is, let's say that you get done with a book early, you can click return and it will automatically return it to the library for you. Now, the nice thing about this is if it's a book that a lot of people want, it's nice to return them early and let other people read them since you're not. So I can return books like that. Whenever I go back, I can again go into browse, kids fiction or nonfiction, and then look through and find more books I want to read.